I put it in my pocket bag. We'll have your team taking off like a rocket ship. The odds against you don't stop the bet, because it's you against the sports book. The bucket list got your back. The bucket list, bucket list. 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 When it's you against the sports book, the bucket list got you back. We up in here on VO the Face. The bucket list. We up in here, man. We about to get this popping. What's buzzing with Mr. Honey? I am Mr. Honey, VO the Face. But along with me to get the party started, we got J Reezy Rose, aka the Gambler.
The bucket list, the bucket list. Let's go.
Who want it? We want it. Let's go. And also with us today, we got Silly C with the numbers.
The bucket list, the bucket list. It's your boy.
It's your boy.
Hey, we about to get this one going, man. And without further ado, this is what's buzzing with Mr. Honey, man. I just got to let y'all know what's on my mind, man. A couple things is buzzing with me this week, man. We got the Kyrie Irving sighting, finally. The man that has been running away from the shot is now able to be out there on the court shooting like he does best, handling the ball, getting it going with his return to action. Silly C, what kind of numbers did Kyrie Irving put up?
He actually played a little bit more than expected, but he played 32 minutes, had 22 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, and 1 block. So he was all over the court.
Yeah, and I mean, like, some people with his absence, like, most time when you think of absent player, you think injury or whatever, but he's just been chilling. Only thing that he been hurt by is just, the mandatory vaccinations in New York. Jay Reeves, what do you think about Kyrie's return to action last night?
Man, with his return to action, you could just tell basketball is in his blood. That boy filled up the stat sheet coming straight off the couch. Kyrie is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He could finish around the rim with left hand, right hand. He got great handles, inside and outside jumper, so he's able to get it done. Kevin Durant still stole the show with the almost
Easy
40
money
point.
Sniper.
Yeah, man. Kevin Durant looks good. What did you guys think about seeing some of their all-stars back in action together?
Yeah, they came back from being 19 down to actually rally to win the game.
Cover the spread.
Yeah, one of the things right now Kyrie has to prove is that they made a good decision by letting him return for half of the games. So we'll see. We'll see how the chemistry goes.
Yeah, Kyrie definitely got to make sure that he's able to play his role. When he's able to play a role, it's like when they give you 50% of the opportunity, he's going to have to be 100% all of the 50% of the time he's available. Like, really can't have an off night. You can't have an off night when you only playing half the game. So it's going to be crazy to see how Kyrie gets back and incorporated, but we all glad to see Uncle Drew back on the court, even if it's not in Brooklyn. Another thing that's been hitting the headlines this weekend, that was Antonio Brown. Obviously, everybody and their mama has been talking about Antonio Brown. We were supposed to do this segment on Tuesday, but it ended up getting pushed back, and it's crazy that we did because now we have so much more that's unfolding, man. Antonio Brown has been released as of like 7 hours ago. Bruce Arians made a statement yesterday. Antonio Brown made a statement, but we're going to start from the initial thing. Jay Reeves, what did you think about Antonio Brown's outburst? Like, seeing it live, like, what did you think? Like, what was going through your head?
It was a little bizarre, and I was kind of like, what's going on here? Why is my man taking off his pads and running across the field, chucking up the deuces? Here's the thing with Antonio Brown. I've been saying it for a while now. I really think that brother has CTE. I think he has some mental issues going on up top. He claims that he doesn't. It's kind of wild because after that, he dropped his rap album and he was on the sideline at a Brooklyn game and at another sideline at some other basketball game. And he's just acting like everything's hunky dory, man. But if his ankle was really busted like he claims and they asked him to go back in the game, another thing about that is Antonio Brown was complaining about getting more targets. So it's like, Antonio, which one is it? Is your ankle messed up or do you want more targets? And then he just
Yeah.
left the game. But I really do think that brother, he needs some help, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are playing into that mental angle, and I think that was a lot of the discussion when this initially happened. Since then, he's released a statement, and has kind of tried to show his side of the story. And in that statement, he started off with, first of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Bucks fans and my teammates. He further goes on to say, because of his commitment to the game, he tries to play injured. He goes on to say, I didn't quit. I was cut. I didn't walk away from my brothers. I was thrown out, being fired on the sideline, and playing through a painful injury. He's just saying pretty much that they put him out there when he wasn't ready. He's looking forward to off-season surgery, and he says he'll be back booming. But man, Silly C, what do you think about this situation? What do you think about his retort? Obviously, there was some mention of Bruce Arians looking at him and saying, "You're done," doing the throat slash thing, like you cut, and he just was like, "I ain't wearing y'all brand no more. Like, I'm gonna take it off my body if I'm done. Like, here, I'll take it off my body," and then he just bounced. I guess that's kind of what seeded into that. Silly C, what do you think about that?
Well, I think initially Tampa Bay took a chance on even bringing him there. And when they brought him there, they brought him a Super Bowl ring. They brought him a lot
He
of,
brought them a Super Bowl ring.
well,
Let's
that's
Facts.
clarify that.
debatable.
He's the player.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
debatable. But yeah, but he got that opportunity and they took a chance on him and he literally has shown that he can't be trusted. Like he took off all his pads and ran and quit and literally retired in the middle of the game. That's like the
It's not the
worst
first
thing
time
you
that's
can
been
do.
done before.
Yeah, I
No.
mean,
Uh,
it's been done just in the locker room, just with Vontae Davis. He is like, I'm good. But I mean, Antonio Brown, he feels like in this day and age, like with social media, all stars are like kind of bigger than the brand. Like people be like, nobody's bigger than the brand. And yeah, the Buccaneers will go on even after Antonio Brown. But I mean, he's kind of a big name. And if you want to say I'm done, then I'm not gonna rep your brand. And that's kind of just the day and age that we is. But man, we gotta realize we in 2022. Nothing is crazy anymore, man. Like there's a whole
and
whole metaverse. Go ahead, Cody. Get off your
And if
chest.
he was that hurt, you would think he'd be going and nursing his injury and not doing a rap album and literally
Oh, don't
going
sound like them
and
crackers.
and,
Don't. No, I'm sorry. I'm
and being
sorry. I
at
didn't
the
mean.
Brooklyn
Don't
game
sound
too.
like. Don't
No,
sound
but
like them other people,
I'm just
man.
saying. So
Don't sound
so
like
what
them
is
other
it?
people,
You
man.
know,
Come on, man.
so what is
Like
it?
now he gonna go
Get this
drop a
last
rap
line out real
album,
quick.
and then he's gonna
Don't
go
sound like
drop
those
a.
crackers.
He went and
Yeah,
dropped
don't
some
sound like them
bars. You know
crackers.
what I'm saying? Like if he can go drop some bars and go to the Brooklyn game, then he ain't that hurt.
Cody, every time we get around you and we
Facts.
get a little lit, what's the first thing you say? Y'all want to hear some bars? Fuck out of here, man. I know if your ankle was hurting, you be ready to cut us some stuff. Broken foot. Hope you look. Nah, get out of here. We ain't gonna do that, man. But and then Bruce Arians kind of responded to things like as far as what the big disturbance was. We got a little clip from his little press conference after Antonio Brown's release.
Of it. So obviously, that was the disturbing thing when we were looking for him to go back into the game. All right, we always had. He was very upset at halftime about who was getting targeted. Got that calmed down. Players took care of that. It started again on the sideline. We called for the personnel group that he had played in the entire game. He refused to go in the game. That's when I looked back and saw him basically wave off the coach. I then went back, approached him about what was going on. I ain't playing. What's going on? I ain't getting the ball. that's when I said, "You're done. Get the f out of here." And that's the end of it. And we are working on Carolina. That's the end of the story. And
Man, he says that's the end of the story, man, but that's not what buzzing with VO. I just want to know, like, man, I think in the famous words of my boy Forensic, man, he say this and she say that. That's that chitter chatter, man. We got two sides of the story going on. Was he hurt? Was he benched? Did he want more targets? What came first, the chicken or the egg, Jay Reese?
I, to be honest, man, I really don't know. I really don't know. I just do
It's
know one
still
thing about Bruce
muffled
Arians.
out.
I know one thing about Bruce Arians, man. He's always been cutthroat, and he's always been willing to throw his players under the bus, even Tom Brady. So I know that man don't give a damn. So don't be messing around on his team. I'm telling you right now. I think he did just straight up get cut. I really do feel like Antonio Brown was like, I'm not going back in the game. I'm not getting targets. That sounds like an Antonio Brown move right there.
Yeah, it does, man, and I could
He had 5
completely
targets.
understand that. But he said he was maybe not going back in. He did sit out a whole bunch of weeks with an ankle injury. I know that was extended with his suspension because he brought through the faulty vaccine card. That's a whole nother conversation. But is that the reason why he's not been getting them targets? Silly C, you the man with the numbers. What's going on with AB?
There ain't no numbers for that. I mean, he didn't want to go out there and have to do anything but catch the ball. He didn't want to have to block. He didn't want to have to do any of that. And he got tired of going out and helping his team and got real selfish. So I think that's on him. And I'd do the same thing Bruce Arians did.
Yeah, I mean,
In that game alone, he got 5 targets though, and he quit in like halfway through the third. I'm like, bro, you would have got all your targets if you just had to stay. He had incentives in that game: 8 receptions,
bro.
57 yards, a touchdown, and he would have got like another 900,000, like another $1 million pop to his damn salary. I don't know what's wrong with the man. I'm telling you, something is not swirling right upstairs.
Yeah, man, but we never know what's going on with him. But thanks to this segment, you can always know what's buzzing with Mr. Honey. This is or
Bzzz.
was the bucket list. You know what I'm saying? When it's you against the sports book, the bucket list got your back.
Buckets.